Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go through setting up an AWS account, which is super simple. It's a free account. You get a free tier access for 12 months, and it actually gives you quite a lot. I'm going to use my existing account, which I no longer have the free tier because I've had it for a lot longer than that. But I'm going to quickly just show you. I mean, you just search AWS. It'll be the first one, Amazon Web Services, and then create a free account. And then you walk through this and you fill in your information. And at the end of it, it's going to ask you for a credit card. Now, the credit card is just so you have it on file in case you use any resources that are more than what the free tier covers. Most people that's not going to apply to. What I'm going to show you how to set up is actually going to cost money. It's not free the way the method that I do, but I think I'm going to set up a Plesk server, and I think that they have a free trial, or at least there is that Plesk has a free tier where you could do like I think up to 3 websites on it or something like that. This is for setting up a web server, so I'm not going to set that one up specifically. This is, but if you're only going to have 3 sites, then you may want to do something like this. You may actually want to set up something that's a little bit easier than what I'm going to show. But if you start with this process and then you go to one of their other services, which I'll get into in some of the other videos, then you may have a little bit better, it may work out a little bit better for you. Okay, so once you fill this out, then you can pause this video, fill this out, set up your account, and come back. And I'm going to walk through briefly the absolute need to know for this tutorial. Okay, so when you first log into your dashboard, you're going to see something like this. And you may have, if you have a brand new account, you may have some, something about tutorials or whatever, and walking you through setting up like different users and stuff like that. We're going to skip over some of that. You can look up how to set up different users and permissions and properties and all of that online. I may do some videos down the road on it, but for now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on just what you're going to need for this particular tutorial. And then if you want to add extra security layers and everything afterwards, then you can feel free to do that. But I'm going to really try to keep this tutorial simple and really basic for most people just starting out that want to run their own hosting server. And then that's just, I'm just going to try to keep it as simple as possible for that. So once you're in your console, there's a services tab up here, and if you click on it, you can see you have a ton of different options. And this is what really makes AWS powerful, is how many different things that you can set up. But again, I'm not going to go into any of this, most of this stuff. Actually, not even most, like pretty much 99.9% of this stuff here we're not even going to touch. So there are only a few things that we need to know for this tutorial. That is EC2. That is because those are our instances, and an instance is basically just a virtual private server set up within a virtual network inside a VPC. So we're going to talk about EC2. We're going to talk about storage, mainly EFS, although I may get into S3 storage for backups and stuff a little bit later into the tutorial. Your database, and we are probably going to do an internal database, but I also might get into RDS a little bit, and that's basically a server that's just independent from your main server that its sole purpose is the database. And if you expect to have a lot of users, you may want to use RDS, but it will double the cost of your infrastructure. So it might not be necessary at first. And then the last thing that's very, very important, and we're going to utilize not only for our own server, but we're also going to utilize it for all of our client hosting server, is Route 53, and, which is basically just your DNS management section. So that's pretty much all that we're going to focus on this particular one. I may delve into some of the other things. I didn't really say anything about VPC because AWS does a really good job of setting up the VPC for you for your specific needs, and it's pretty rare that you need to go in there and mess with anything that this sets up automatically, unless if you are doing some other specific things that we're not going to get into in this tutorial, so I'm not going to talk that much about it. But all right, looking forward to seeing you guys for the next video.